knows what it feels like.
The Handmaid's Tale Season 6 is set to bring Hulu's hit dystopian series to a close, but there are still key things the show needs to nail for a proper send-off. With only a handful of episodes left, fans are wondering how everything will fit into the final season. There are a ton of character arcs to wrap up and unanswered questions that need resolving, so Season 6 has a lot to juggle. Season 5 left things in an even worse state for June and the rest of the characters, pretty unexpected for a show that should be winding down. Gilead's ideology started spreading into Canada, forcing June, Serena, and other refugees to run for their lives. Meanwhile, Luke and Nick are caught up in dangerous situations that could get them killed, and plenty of side characters aren't faring much better. With so much at stake in The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, the biggest thing the show needs to do is wrap up June's story in a way that feels satisfying. No matter how much she's fought, she's never really won. Every victory comes with another loss, and she's been on an increasingly dark path. Even though she escaped Gilead, her trauma, anger, and need for revenge have shaped her into someone completely different from the woman she once was. Now that she's separated from Luke again and forced to flee Canada, the show has to give her some kind of closure. That being said, The Handmaid's Tale Season 6 can't give June a perfect ending because it has to set up The Testaments, Hulu's upcoming spin-off based on Margaret Atwood's sequel novel. According to the book, June never gets to reunite with her children. She disappears, forced into hiding, still carrying the weight of everything she's lost. So while she won't get her family back together, the show still needs to give her a moment of peace or happiness, no matter how small. At the same time, the show also has to address Serena Joy's redemption arc, whether she truly changes or falls back into her old ways. Serena has been one of The Handmaid's Tale's most complex characters, starting off as a villain but slowly questioning her beliefs. Her pregnancy, Fred's death, and her uneasy alliance with June have all pushed her to rethink the world she helped create. By the end of Season 5, June and Serena are on the run together, escaping Canada on a train. It's a complicated relationship. June has every reason to hate Serena, but there is a chance she could still influence her for the better. If Serena fully rejects Gilead and embraces a more humane way of life, that could be a satisfying end to her story. But if she backslides, it would prove that some people just can't change no matter what they go through. Either way, her arc needs a definitive conclusion. Meanwhile, there's also the matter of Luke. He and June had a rough Season 5 with things spiraling completely out of control. When Luke killed a man in self-defense, they both became fugitives, trapped in a version of Canada that was starting to look a lot like Gilead. While they were trying to flee, Luke sacrificed himself, letting himself be arrested so June could escape. Now that they're apart again, and with so much else going on, the show can't leave his fate unanswered. June has spent years trying to reunite with the people she loves, and losing Luke for good would be a devastating blow. If Season 6 doesn't at least bring them back together, it would feel like an incomplete story, especially since saving Luke is bound to be one of June's main goals. And then there's Hannah. June's entire journey has been about rescuing her daughter, but despite everything she's done, Hannah is still stuck in Gilead. The Season 5 rescue attempt was a disaster, with Gilead shooting down the planes meant to save her. Now, she's still trapped in one of their elite schools, being groomed into their system. The hardest part? June likely won't succeed in getting Hannah back. The Testaments make it clear that Hannah stays in Gilead for another 15 years before she finally learns the truth about her mother. That means Season 6 has to start shifting focus, making sure Hannah's story is ready to continue in the spin-off. If she and June don't reunite, the show needs to give Hannah more depth, setting her up as the main character in the Testaments. With all these loose ends, The Handmaid's Tale has a lot to wrap up in its final season. Balancing all these character arcs while setting up the Testaments won't be easy, but if the show pulls it off, it could go out on a high note. Heartbreaking, yes, but true to the world it's built. Nick's fate in Gilead remains one of the biggest unanswered questions heading into The Handmaid's Tale Season 6. As one of the few people June could trust, his continued assistance to her and Luke eventually led to his downfall. By Season 5, Nick's love for June was no longer a secret, and his defiance against Gilead resulted in his imprisonment. With his wife leaving him and his loyalty to the regime being questioned, the likelihood of his execution looms large. Gilead is known for its merciless treatment of traitors, and his past affair with June only adds to the weight of his potential death sentence. Fans hope he survives, but his future appears grim. While Nick's fate is uncertain, Gilead itself has continued to expand its reach beyond its borders. By the end of Season 5, its influence in Canada had grown significantly, forcing many Gileadian refugees to flee. The battle for control over Canada will likely be a crucial storyline in Season 6. If Gilead manages to overthrow the Canadian government, it will secure a powerful foothold in the West, but resistance could turn the tide against them. The outcome of this struggle will not only shape the final season, but could also set the stage for the Testament spin-off. Meanwhile, Janine's storyline remains one of the most compelling in Gilead. She is one of the few remaining protagonists still trapped within the oppressive regime. Season 5 ended with her being taken by the eyes after refusing to be assigned to Commander Lawrence's household. This could mean a return to the colonies, a place she barely survived in Season 2. Regardless of her destination, her fate will be pivotal to Season 6, and given her resilience, her journey could be both heartbreaking and inspiring. Janine's fate is also deeply intertwined with Aunt Lydia's evolving role. Season 5 saw Lydia beginning to question Gilead's practices, particularly concerning Janine and Esther. This subtle shift in her character needs to continue in Season 6, as her eventual rebellion against Gilead is a key element of the Testaments. If The Handmaid's Tale fails to show this transformation on screen, it risks making her eventual role in the spin-off feel disconnected and rushed. Seeing her internal struggle unfold will add depth to her character and make her eventual departure more impactful. Esther's story is another thread that needs proper closure. Season 5 revealed her tragic pregnancy after being raped by Commander Wherein, whose execution provided little solace. Now forced to carry the child, her future is uncertain. With Janine imprisoned, Esther remains one of the few individuals close to Aunt Lydia, making her another potential catalyst in Lydia's shift away from Gilead. And that's all I've got to say about the last season for now. If you want me to dive deeper into this or any other upcoming series you have in mind, hit that like and subscribe so you can stay in the loop for the next video. I'll be covering all kinds of updates on your favorite series and movies, so stay tuned and I'll catch you in the next one.